Yeah, hello everyone. Today I think we'll try to be very brief and quick, and we'll close the meeting by 10 to 15 minutes if we don't have more questions. And couple of people unable to join, they send a note. Like for example, Saurav is suffering from some cold, and Fabio having some medical issue, and Sarat is busy with having some personal arrangement to moving to Canada. And there is some few people having some their personal engagement, but all is fine. So the first personal thing and professional priority will be important in this Twindle. So you guys can able to see my screen, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So I was trying out how it looks like. This particular thread I was looking into, and Puru also did some good work in terms of improving that output. So this is the thread I was playing around, and this is the PDF it is coming. So which is good. Like couple of observation here. Like that image I think is not yet done. Like for example, that image if it is appearing in the PDF file, it would be good enough. But the new line character other thing is already addressed. And I don't think we need to have two time image repeating, or we have to come up with some kind of initial. The first page should be like the initial page, like which will give some information about Twindle, maybe Twindle logo or created by Twindle. If you don't have logo also, that is fine. And when we generated this and when the thread is created, it's some kind of information with some photo by Daniel, and we can try to fetch some information from his profile, so which will give more information about the author. And then from second page onwards, we can come up with the thread, like this thread, and that kind of direction we can go. And we may have page number or kind of this PDF also needs to be like A5 or A6, which can be rendered well into Kindle well. But it is looking good. We are doing good progress. So, so I encourage everyone to run this code and try to execute it. I'm pulling this latest in just now, a few minutes back. I latest in, so it is working. And error handling also a little bit improved by Puru, but there are certain other pieces it needs to be improved. That is one part. We are doing some good progress. And about the issue, right? Like Kenny, I was trying to clean up the issue a little bit because having so many issue, right? I'm not seeing some traction in terms of people to work. So we'll try to keep this issue a little bit clean from now onwards. You can tell your opinion, but so that it will be actionable. And there are because the Twitter CLI, I'm little bit involved, so that I'm talking to people and giving some direction. And I had a discussion with BJ today. So I'll once I stop talking, let him explain about his observation, and Puru also can speak. So Twindle CLI, we are doing some good progress, and I encourage everyone to run the code. And I just sorry, Mira, I closed couple of tickets of you. Like the for example, we can't make some generic tickets. It would be very difficult for beginner or some new anybody want to contribute. The ticket would be like, I'll give you an example. You can just put more information. For example, Twindle CLI unnecessary console log. What I mean by bit, I running this code. So this is one example. I should have copied this code into a little bit more in the text format, so it will be easy for copy. But anyway, so I'm getting this console.log. So I don't want it to be printed into the console.log. I think so. I tag into the Twindle code developer. So that's for testing remove soon. So this kind of so whichever the issue you're facing, if you try to create a issue which is targeted and clean and have like one small task should have small objective instead of having broad objective like coding standard and error handling. So it is a little bit broad. For example, One more error handling I am taking. Initially, I thought this is not working, but it is one of my thread only. But I realized later that I deleted the thread because I don't want to display that our meeting information in public, so that other random people will join and it will create some noise. So I deleted the tweet, but the error message is it's seeing your tweets is saved to PDF file. So there is a scope for improvement here. Once the tweet is unavailable, we should not go to PDF generation. And also we should have some proper error message here, like the tweet ID is not available, or please provide a valid ID or something like that. So
Yeah,
Puru,
this is what I documented in my first PR because I was not handling any error scenarios at all in the code. So I wanted to experiment with different error scenarios and then come up with specific cases of how to handle each of them. And I had documented it in my PR, in my pull request, and you said create issues. So that's the reason I created a broad issue. But now that we are facing specific issues, we can create specific issues.
yeah, you have done correctly only, but because we are
Okay.
changing the direction again and again.
Yeah, now the broad issue doesn't make sense because now we are facing specific issues. So it's best to go with specific tickets.
Yeah, yeah. So initially you have done good, and Puru also come up with some solutions, so it is good. But the more actionable item issues going forward will help people to pick it up and address that issue, in a quick, so people will also feel comfortable. What do you think, Mira?
Yeah, sounds good. Definitely.
Yeah. And also we'll try to keep this. I just sorry for don't feel bad, guys. You are putting lots of effort in creating these issues. But if issues are not getting traction for 3, 4, 5 days, right? I am not thinking that it should be present here because
Yeah, you're free to close them, Prabhu. That's not an issue. I mean, the reason I created it was to document that these things have not been handled. That's it.
not
So
only
even if you close it,
not only I close your issue, I close Melissa issue, Adrento issue,
yeah,
like any issue, my
no
issue.
problem.
I close every issue,
Mm.
even my all my junk, whatever I put here, I just closed it.
Yeah. So my purpose was just to document it. So even if you go ahead and close it, we can still address them specifically.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say, right? I close my issue even, so no need to feel bad. Yeah, I'm trying to come up with some approach where we can engage more and we can get some more, contribution from people, so that it should be easy for them to address one issue at a time. Thus, I'm thinking it will evolve, because I was the reason I was thinking, right? This issue will be give broad and 3, 4 page, right? People will be have trouble to pick on what ticket, and they can't spend lots of time energy into going through all the tickets and contributing. And if let's say we have a crisp clear, now we have our clear objective, we have to make this Twindle CLI working, and we have done good progress, we have to make it stabilize and improve it, right? So that's the
Yes,
objective
definitely.
of it.
Yeah.
And I need some assistance in terms of people like Basu, Saurav, Joel, and for example Sarath. But because those people are a little bit occupied, it looks like. So Melissa or somebody who are interested to on this HTML CSS, right? If you can create some clearly well-defined task by going through this landing page thing and coordinate and clear some small tasks, for example, change the hover image and something which can be, because I see there is a little bit disconnect happening, because somebody want to work, for example, see this Kenko, the approach or his approach, he come up with a banner design, but which is not aligned to our Figma, and so I have to reject the pull request because as per the ticket, it is saying that enhance the banner design, but it is not very clear that what is our objective is. So first one and fourth task is very clearly explained. We can able to take the action, but I need some more actionable item for the landing page. But it is again a second priority. But Twindle CLI, we can keep on working and add some more feature. So that's about it. Like it is open for the discussion now.
A couple things I would like to add. In terms of the issues and how beginners might be able to better contribute, I think we could what do you say? So even if say I know how to fix something, I could document how to do the fix. For example, change certain line of code in certain line of this file, and I could document that as the issue, and let someone who is a beginner pick it up and just make the change, so that they will also be able to see, okay, why this change is needed and what change relates to what kind of an output in terms of how the code works. So that could be one that is one point that I want to say. Another point I want to add is for the Twindle CLI part. Right now we have the Twitter API, the, what do you say, that API token is required for anyone who wants to run it, right? So then if we have any work that is related to the rendering part, people are not able to work on it, or just correct me if I'm wrong. So there should be an option in the CLI which will like switch over to the mock JSON rather than hitting the actual Twitter API, so that anyone can jump in and help out with the rendering side of kind of issues.
Yeah,
And
I think you touched this point very important. I forgot to bring this point into notice,
mm,
but this
mm.
is exactly I was thinking to today talk about it. But for this second item, can you create a clear issue and explain what needs to be done?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead,
Yeah,
Kenny. I think you want to add
what
something else.
just the last point is that maybe what Mira is doing in terms of creating broad issues is also fine, but we would need to identify each of the separate tasks as separate issues, which is kind of like a master issue pointing to multiple smaller issues, if that is also a fine way of looking at it, so that each person can pick up a single specific task which is outlined clearly for them. Yeah.
Yeah, that issue of improvement will slowly experiment with different ideas, Kenny.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, just wanted to share this. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Because I'm also not sure what is the optimal way to work on issues. Let's experiment with. But I was initial right couple of weeks back. I was the issue list is growing so much. We have you put lots of effort into because I really appreciate and respect your intention. You want to help others, right? To pick that task and help other people. That is intention. I don't have any doubt on that. We are still going to do that. But at the same time, we are if you overboard the information, if you see some beginner, so now like they have to read less. Less read means good action item for them because we have like 20 people like core team member. Like, it is good enough. Like we can achieve our milestone objective if you have this core team member actively participating, right?
And I want to add a point too, like what we can do to improve the issue is uh, we can outline the task, like how they can approach it, not in a very informative manner, but just bullet points, like you can do this, and this is how you can approach it, and then they will uh, work on it, I think.
Yeah, Pranav, very
They
good
can also
idea.
do
But
that.
can you do that? Can you create one issue and
uh,
see the leading by example, right? Will work better.
okay.
So if you have some idea, I really appreciate this idea and it would be helpful. But you have to give it a try.
Okay, so I will try to create an issue if I found something which is like beginner friendly and
Yeah,
will
no need
can
to
be
worry. Beginner
repeated in
friendly
different
also.
tasks.
Like you create the
Okay,
issues, you will focus on Twindle CLI objective. This is everything is beginner
okay,
friendly only. For example,
okay.
this is removing the console log. Anything anybody can do that. They have to just find out where this
Okay,
console log is printing and just raise a pull request and it will be merged.
okay. So I will create an issue where I will
But don't create the
follow the
issue for the
format.
namesake. We will try to avoid creating the issues just for some beginner will be benefited or something. Better not to go into that route. Route is not very motivating or encouraging.
Yeah.
We'll try to
Like
you.
we have issue in our website. I think I have checked the
What
website.
I'm
I
trying to see,
think that,
right? Twindle.cli,
yeah,
make it run, execute it.
yeah.
If you face genuine
Okay.
issue or you have a genuine suggestion, for example, you know the PDF is working, rendering this way, that way,
Yeah.
or image is not coming, this is not coming, that is not coming,
Okay.
emoji is not coming. Clearly highlight that issue and put it. Instead
Okay.
of beginner friendly,
Okay.
instead of that may be low level, that may be high level, that may be any level. So
Okay.
it is
Okay.
up to beginners to pick that. We can do labeling like it is good fast use or something if you are want to do that. But I think
Okay.
this intention is clear that we are mostly the beginner people only. We have not having very
Yeah. Yeah.
much experience, guys. A few mix of people, but as you that intention we made it clear. All our issues are
Yeah.
anybody can pick it up. Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Hello,
Yes, second.
Praful.
Yes, second.
Yeah, yeah. Yesterday I execute JS code and I found it that there is a problem. They are saying said that that module is not found. So then that module I installed it and then run it. Then I executed it. So that is also a problem.
Yeah, no problem. Create a
Is
issue.
that?
Create a issue for that, whichever the problem you face. But once you then you approach somebody, you know.
Yeah, yeah. I approached Kenny and Mira. They told me how to execute
Yeah,
it.
then create a issue, put your error statement, and in another comment, right, put the solution and close the ticket, close the issue by yourself, so that it will be
Okay,
available. Because we have a closed ticket, also we can search it here. If somebody else faces the issue, right, this can be act as a Stack Overflow, and some beginner can that is very helpful. So
okay,
you
okay,
create whenever you face problem, right? First thing you create a issue, then approach other people by Discord or Twitter, whichever you're comfortable. You get the help and resolve it. Once you resolve it, it is your responsibility to document it. Don't left that ticket open.
okay,
Then close
okay,
the ticket also, because no need to keep open.
okay, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Tolka. Uh,
I want to, yeah, I want to say one thing. Like right now, we have these two projects going on: Twindle Web, which is the UI part, and this Twindle CLI. But um, I think we need a third one, and third one is not exactly a new one. It's like it's basically mostly it will be Twindle CLI. The problem right now with Twindle CLI is that, well, it's not exactly a problem, but the code is not agnostic exactly. Like, so what I'm thinking, we need to create a core code which will like just functional code. Like it will take in arguments and return data, because that's what we are going to need for the web version, for when the web version makes request to the serverless endpoint. So I think we need some refactorings, and another benefit of those refactorings would be that it would be easier, it would be actually possible to test using Jest or other frameworks.
sorry, Puru, I didn't get it. Can you repeat it again? Like, what?
um, I'm saying right now we have two projects, Twindle CLI and Twindle Web. Now Twindle
Twindle
Web.
waves, just to put it simple, right? We won't discuss about phase 2 at this moment. Twindle CLI would be our server. It will be matured to the server level. We'll use the code base in future. Okay. So Twindle wave is just a landing page, static page. It will have just email capturing box, nothing else.
No, I'm okay. No, I'm thinking about Twindle Web as in later that it will
No.
be.
Let us not discuss now, because it will confuse people. We won't achieve anything, right? Let it make
No,
our
no.
base product stable and robust. Then we'll discuss. Refactoring is very easy, Puru. I can create any folder, organize it, code, move the code. I'm doing very frequently on that. I'll take care of that. Okay.
I'm just saying that we need to decouple the functions, the API we have written from Node.
Yeah, that we
It's
can do.
currently very
I am working in AWS full time. That is my core strength. So I'll take care of that. Don't worry about that. Is a very easy piece. I'm saying that. That is not a very big challenging task. We can do when we want to do.
Okay, but
Guru,
we
there is
okay,
the
yeah, but
just wanted to add. I mean, I understand where you're coming from, and we can, if we were all experts and doing this like as part of our work, then definitely we could. We are all on the same page. We understand what each other is saying. Why we need to have a core module that is separate from the actual web and the CLI. But at least in this case, we have started out with the whatever structure that we have right now, and now breaking that apart would make it a bit more confusing for whoever is like contributing to us so far, who is more of a beginner than more of experienced person like us. So it would be and in terms of the code base, there is really not much code here, so it is not that big of a pain to refactor later, split it later. So I'm also in agreement with Proful, but Puru, your thought is definitely a valid thought.
No, I think I understand why Puru is saying that, because when you go handle the error scenarios, there is no way for us to, like, for the error process to return a false or something, to make sure that the PDF process doesn't start. So, like, say for example, the processes are right now completely coupled. So maybe that's why he's stressing on the refactoring part. But we'll need to work on some other mechanism, like maybe write another file and then call the two processes together rather than doing it from index.js. I hope I'm making sense. So there is some issue with the error handling scenario. Like when there is an error happening, the PDF is still being generated. At least that message is still being generated at the bottom. So the code is tightly coupled right now. Is that what you're saying, Puru?
exactly that.
So I'll think of some way. We can come up with some other. We don't have to entirely refactor the code. We can come up with some intermediary file where we can do the whole thing. So we don't have to create a separate code base for that.
Yeah, that sounds good. You can create multiple JavaScript files like modules, and then
Yeah, so just basically separate the two logic. Right now, it's tightly coupled. The place where we are calling the Twitter API and the PDF generation, it's tightly coupled because Tolga has fixed it that way. So maybe that's what he was talking about. I wasn't sure exactly why he wanted us to refactor the whole thing. So maybe we could create another file, and we'll talk about that a little bit. Okay.
Yeah, well, it won't be exactly very hard. All we need to do is just return things, rather than right now we are just writing to a global variable. Now we
Yes.
need to return
So
stuff.
we need to return, yeah, because previously I wrote the module in isolation, so I chose that approach. But because we are returning things now, so it makes better sense to refactor that part a little bit. So we can work on that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, Puru, like I misunderstood. That is a very good. You're free to refactor any way you like, But creating multiple project, that is where my resistance is. But you're free to improve the code. And you discuss with Mira and come up with some solution, whatever you
We
both
can
agree.
discuss an approach and we can come up with the best way to do this part.
Yeah, raise PR, I'll merge it.
Okay. Also, Proful, I look when Shaker was working on the EPUB module, I looked at the code there. So basically, they have a HTML module in the data, and that HTML module is being rendered inside the EPUB file. So that HTML file currently in the EPUB module is hard coded. We could use the same HBS template format that Tolga is using in the PDF to generate that HTML portion. So basically, we need to find a way to reuse that HBS HTML template.
That's a good idea, but I am thinking like at this stage, right? Focusing energy EPUB is not required, because we have. If somebody is not having any more tasks, they can still go and explore on that. But I want this PDF to be a little bit more
reformatted. So that's of more priority.
more priority. Like Twitter, like we have like couple of options, because the 7 days restriction, error handling, and this refactoring code, and a little bit about testing also is very important. That's what I think Puru is explaining. Today I talk about him, but I won't force the testing to him or anybody. But testing is important in future. I'm not sure when we will going to do that.
No, we can just have a separate call. Like soundboard all the error scenarios. Like for example, the scenario that you just described, one tweet you published and then you deleted it. So what happens in that scenario? Those kinds. We just need to come up with the various scenarios and then handle them in the right way.
Yeah, now we have to encourage people to use it and run it, so that people may not know how to run it. And also today Kenny pointed out, right, if somebody don't have API access, they should also able to test it out.
Yeah, makes sense.
And also not only the mock JSON file, you can mock the Twitter API. That would be a more end-to-end seamless solution. So it will test your code, instead of mocking your end response, you can create some mock. There are lots of approaches you can explore on that. So whichever API, if let's say for example somebody doesn't create .env file and want to run in a local mode, so whichever the Twitter response you are getting, right, you mock that response from Twitter, because now you have the JSON structure directly from Twitter, and you make sure your code is working, because the Twitter response is not going to change, right? Only our code will going to change.
Yes.
Did you understood what I'm trying to say? It is a bit complicated thing. If you understand, it is good.
No, actually, the Twitter response structure is there, but how would we know the data, what the user is trying to get?
It is very same, right? Like for example, they need Twitter thread or some other thread. It is very simple. Like one structure is enough. Any structure.
Okay.
But it is for, we can just in CLI option we can create, like it is for stub mode or developer mode. So it is not actually some kind of information or log to guide them that you don't have this configuration. So play around with the local mode or something.
Okay. Yeah, we can talk about this a little bit more.
Yeah, we'll discuss more on that approach a little bit future. Vijay, you want to discuss anything?
No problem. I just want to ask you, which you showed that with Puru, that approach you got with PDF, is it web scraping or direct API?
Sorry, Vijay?
Asking the PDF which you generated while you were speaking about Puru. So is it using web scraping or using API?
API only. Web scraping you have not yet. Did you committed the code?
Maybe after this call you will be seeing that code as a pull request.
Okay. Then I'm running from this Twindle repository only. So it is the code what Mira, Tolga, and Puru is working on that.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
So he has finished the scraping code, really?
It's not. I didn't finish. I can't say we can finish, but we had some progress yesterday. Me and Kenny has given kind of a code that actually had the main problem solved. Yeah, maybe I can push that. Maybe you can see that how that's working. But yeah, it has its issues, because it can't be as robust as API, because in API we just know what we get, but here that's kind of we just need to pick what we want. But again, it's working. I can say that when we load a page, and if the Twitter thread has some 20 tweets, we can easily get the first 8 tweets in hand, but the next 20 tweets is kind of there's an approach for that. We are also getting that, but it's kind of different thing. But yeah, we are right now we are having that in hand. I didn't get you.
Are you using any library for this?
No, no library. It's just a puppeteer there, where we are actually we just need that. That's an essential part. It's a puppeteer for scraping. So that's a browser kind of thing, and then we are actually targeting those div elements where we are actually thinking those tweets would be there, and we are getting from that and pushing it to an array.
Wow, that sounds cool.
Yeah, but as I told you, it has some set of issues too. But yeah, we'll see that.
Yeah, we can talk about that. Like I said, we could leverage the API also to get some additional details. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, if the scraping part is really difficult, and if you can get the tweet ID, then we can look up additional information from the API.
Maybe we
So
could
the
get
API
the user
code-
information directly from the API, which yesterday we were looking at it, right? We were able to extract only the text from the tweets, at least at starting out. So I think it would make sense to get some additional structured data from the first tweet, which would include, okay, who is the author and those kind of things, author's profile picture, etc.
Yes, Kenny. I think we can target that first tweet. Actually, I didn't work about that ID and profile thing, like image. But yeah, once we target that, I think we can get that information too. But as yesterday, Kenny and we also discussed regarding this hybrid method, like where we can use API also with the web scraping where we need. But first I think we'll make this approach clear, at least with some kind of tweets which we can get. Then I think you can see that. I think Mira, you already saw that tweepy thing, right? I just updated in that issue.
Yeah, but Tweepy also has the same restriction because Tweepy also leverages the API. They don't work without the API, right?
So I just used tweepy to get a 2018 tweet.
You can get a tweet's details. That's not an issue. But the second call to search with that conversation ID part, that is the issue.
Okay, so
tweet
that
lookup is easy. That happens as long as you have the tweet. That's why I'm saying even if you use the scraping method, we could still leverage the API because the API permits us to get tweet details, older tweets also, as long as you have the tweet ID. But if you don't have the tweet ID and you want to get all tweets related to a specific tweet, that goes to the search endpoint. So the searching part is restricted in Twitter. I'm hoping that makes sense.
Sure. Maybe we can discuss more on that, so that we can build.
After you put your PR, I'll take a look at the code and see. I mean, I'm not an expert in Python though, so I don't know how you've written the scraping logic. So if you can explain it to me, then we can see where are the issues and we can see if the API will help in leveraging those issues.
I'm not at all expert in Python, but I'll explain that code.
Okay.
So after our discussion, maybe we can just connect. I'll just see. We can just bring some pieces together. Maybe it could work. We'll see that.
All right, sounds good.
One suggestion, guys. Vijay, I already told in the meeting. Make sure you record it and upload into YouTube.
Sure.
If you need, you no need to set up obvious other thing. You use the Zoom call. That would be very good. Like 40-minute limit, free. So there is a simple record button. So you can record audio and screen sharing everything, and you upload into that as a format. There is no need for doing anything. You just upload it. The discussion. Mira, is it fine, right?
Yeah, no issues, Praful.
Please use Zoom. Zoom is very good. Just a record button. I'm trying out this complicated setup with OBS other thing, which is crap. It doesn't require you guys to learn it. But use OBS, this Zoom. Click the record button, talk anything, no need to be formal, and upload into YouTube. I think Vijay has access. Mira, if you need access, you just DM me your email address. I'll add you into the YouTube. In future, if somebody else also want to be contributed to the YouTube channel, please send me your email address to my Twitter or Discord, anywhere you like. I'll add you as a manager or owner or contributor to that Twindle channel. Okay, I think any more question or we are good to go?
I think we're good.
So someone has to start working on the cover page that you just mentioned, right? In the PDF.
Yeah, if you understand what I mean, if you don't mind, can you create an issue? And if you want to work
I can definitely create an issue. It's just that the HTML part, I'm not an expert at it. So if there is some markup, then from there I can take it ahead. So I'll definitely create an issue with what I understood.
That is more important. Like if you more and more people like understand from this call, if you can create issues, it would be really helpful for me,
Okay.
And others.
Okay, so I understood what you meant with the PDF part. Like, so you want a cover page where the author's details and the date
and I'm not sure like why you want to have the design page and want to be perfect. Come up with something. If we don't like, again we'll improve it.
I mean, it looks good right now. I don't want to mess it up.
No. It is, you just improve it. Not problem. It is like simple thread. You just need cover page and come up with something, whatever you feel right. It is good enough.
Okay.
Then we will raise one more ticket. We'll fix it, and we'll iterate on that. Slowly.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. Puru, you want to have any question, or Melissa?
Only about the issues you mentioned it, like if we have some trouble or something and we can solve the issue and we should document it, are we gonna link that solution on the wiki page or on a readme file or some markdown file so it can be as accessible to anyone that want to walk through the solution or want to learn about it?
Yeah, there are a couple of things. If it is like detail, for example, the way BJP has created, you created like an detailed information. So we can put in docs, and there is the articles folder. So we can put all the markdown little bit presentable format. And in the main README file, we can link to that if it is
Okay.
worth it. But if it is small, like an exception, other thing, because minor issue, we don't need to worry about too much. That is, people can still search the close issues. But if some information is like a little bit more, we spend lots of energy, time into come up with the documentation, then I would recommend to put into article section or wiki, whichever you guys feel comfortable. Let
Yeah.
wiki and articles both grow. We'll see which is going more traction.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, also just want to add to the point that Proful was saying. So yesterday when I was discussing with Vijay Bhaskar, I was just trying to tell him also, a- as long as you have at least some sample case working, just push the code so that we can have it in the repository. So at least we have some code that is somewhat working, and then someone else can also pitch in, and they can find edge cases just like Puru is doing right now. So if we didn't have the original code, then we wouldn't be finding these edge cases. So it's not about being perfect or creating the right code base. It's just about making progress, and putting that progress out there so that others can also contribute. So that is how we can leverage the power of open source. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Yeah, thank you guys. We'll meet again tomorrow. Have a good day. Bye bye.
Thanks everyone. Bye.
Bye bye.